Life in Qatar presents a blend of modernity and tradition, with its booming economy, rapid development, and rich cultural heritage. However, beneath the gleaming skyscrapers and bustling streets lie a series of shocking realities that may surprise those unfamiliar with this Gulf nation. From strict societal norms and legal regulations to cultural nuances that shape daily life, navigating the intricacies of Qatari society can be a revealing journey. In this exploration, we delve into several shocking facts about life in Qatar, shedding light on aspects that often remain hidden beneath the country's glossy exterior. Restrictions on personal freedom. In Qatar, women have to deal with some pretty strict rules about how they dress and act in public. It's all about being modest and sticking to what's considered proper in Qatari society. That means women might face pressure from society to dress conservatively, covering up their bodies more than they might be used to. If they don't follow these dress codes, they could even get in trouble with the law. It's not just about clothes, though. Women are also expected to behave a certain way in public, especially around men who aren't related to them. Things like avoiding physical contact with guys who aren't family members are seen as important. For some people, especially those from places where there's more freedom to dress and act however they want, these rules in Qatar might seem pretty shocking. But for women living in Qatar, it's just part of their everyday life, and they learn to navigate these expectations to fit in with their culture. Pornography. In Qatar, pornography is a big no-no. It's not like in some other places where people can watch adult content freely. Here, it's against the law, and there are strict rules against it. Accessing or distributing pornographic material is considered illegal and can lead to serious consequences, including fines, imprisonment, or deportation for expatriates. The country's Islamic values and cultural norms strongly discourage any kind of explicit content, and the government closely monitors and blocks access to such material online. For people used to having more freedom when it comes to what they watch, these restrictions in Qatar might come as a surprise. But for the residents and visitors, it's important to respect the laws and customs of the country, even if they don't always agree with them. Public affection. In Qatar, showing affection in public, like hugging or kissing, is a big deal. It's not like in some other places where people can freely show their love for each other wherever they want. Here, it's more conservative, which means people are expected to keep their displays of affection private. Public affection is considered disrespectful and against the cultural norms of the society. So, you won't see couples holding hands or cuddling in public places like parks or malls. Even married couples have to be careful about showing too much affection in public. It might be surprising for some, especially if they come from places where public displays of affection are common and accepted. But in Qatar, it's important to respect the local customs and keep things low-key when it comes to showing love in public. Infidelity. In Qatar, being unfaithful in a relationship is a serious matter. The society places a strong emphasis on loyalty and commitment, especially within marriages. Infidelity, which means being with someone else when you're already in a relationship, is not tolerated. The rules about this are strict, and if someone is caught cheating, it can have serious consequences. It can lead to divorce and even legal issues in some cases. The cultural norms in Qatar stress the importance of family and maintaining trust in relationships, so cheating is seen as a betrayal of those values. People are expected to be faithful to their partners, and breaking that trust is a big deal. This might be surprising for some, especially if they come from places where cheating is more common or accepted. But in Qatar, staying faithful is a fundamental part of maintaining healthy relationships and respecting the values of the society. Summer heat. Qatar gets really hot, especially in the summer. We're talking temperatures that can go way above 40 degrees Celsius, which is like being in an oven. It's so hot that sometimes you feel like you're melting. This extreme heat can make it super tough to do things outside, like playing sports or just taking a walk. Even everyday activities can become a challenge because the heat can be exhausting. People have to be careful to stay hydrated and protect themselves from the sun. For those who aren't used to such scorching temperatures, it can be a shocking experience when they first visit Qatar. But for the folks who live there, dealing with the summer heat is just a part of daily life. LGBTQ+. In Qatar, being in a same-sex relationship is a big no-no. It's considered against the law and goes against the traditional beliefs of the society. If people are caught being in a same-sex relationship, they could face serious consequences, like getting arrested or even deported if they're not from Qatar. The country's laws are pretty strict when it comes to this, and there's not much tolerance for it. It's a shocking fact for many because in some other places, being in a same-sex relationship might be more accepted. But in Qatar, it's something that's just not allowed, and people have to be really careful about who they're with and where they show their affection. It's a tough situation for those who identify as LGBTQ+, and they often have to keep their relationships secret to avoid getting into trouble with the authorities. Gender segregation. In Qatar, there's a big emphasis on keeping men and women separated in different parts of life. This means they might have separate spaces for guys and girls in places like parks, schools, and even at work. It's kind of like they have their own areas where they hang out and do things. This idea of gender segregation has been around for a long time and is a big part of Qatari culture. Even though things are changing slowly and women are getting more opportunities, there are still a lot of traditional beliefs about what men and women should do. For example, men might be expected to work outside the home, while women are often encouraged to focus on taking care of their families. While it might seem surprising to some, for people living in Qatar, it's just how things have been done for a while. Drinking alcohol. In Qatar, drinking alcohol is a big deal because it's not widely available, and there are strict rules around it. While some hotels in certain designated areas might serve alcohol to non-Muslims, buying and consuming it in public places is not allowed. Even for residents and visitors, there are limits on how much alcohol they can buy and possess, and they need a special permit to do so. It might be surprising for some because in other countries, drinking alcohol is more common and accepted. But in Qatar, it's a different story because of the country's Islamic laws and cultural norms. Breaking these rules can have serious consequences, including fines, imprisonment, or deportation for expatriates. So, people have to be really careful and follow the regulations if they want to drink alcohol while they're in Qatar. While Qatar boasts economic prosperity and a thriving cosmopolitan atmosphere, the shocking facts about life in this Gulf nation underscore the complexities that lie beneath its surface. From stringent laws governing personal freedoms to deeply ingrained cultural norms that shape social interactions, Qatar presents a unique tapestry of challenges and contradictions. Despite its modern advancements, the country remains anchored in traditional values and religious principles, which influence various aspects of daily life. As visitors and residents navigate through the striking landscapes and dynamic urban centers of Qatar, these revelations serve as poignant reminders of the multifaceted nature of this captivating nation.